Good morning, everyone. I'm Marcus Schneider, and with me is Stephanie Dinsmore. It's great to have you with us today. This morning, I'm really excited about the meditation that Stephanie's going to be leading us through. It's a progressive body scan. Is that right?
Yeah, it's progressive muscle relaxation.
Forgive me, yes, progressive muscle relaxation.
Learning to relax while we're awake.
Cool.
That's kind of the idea behind it. And I really love it for people that have and notice chronic pain, because it's a great way to calm the nervous system, actually pay attention and tune into a spot in your body where you're noticing tension and discomfort, rather than trying to shift your mind away from it, because it actually does the opposite when we do that. So, we're going to do that today. And if you have any questions about this practice after, let us know.
And if you struggle with chronic pain, just play the game with us for now, because we're going to be going through that. Then we're going to be talking a little bit about our experience. We both actually work with individuals who deal with chronic pain. And I'm excited to compare notes a little bit on how I deal with that, and how I work with clients, and then how you've experienced that same work. Is there anything that you want to give us instruction for before we get started?
Yeah, so I just like to make a note that if you do notice any discomfort or tension when we are maybe clenching our fists, for example, I'll ask you to do that during the practice. If there's any discomfort at all, just let that go and bring your attention back to the breath. So at any point during this practice, if you notice, I shouldn't have felt that, I clenched a little too tight, then just come back to the breath, and that's totally fine.
Awesome. That's perfect.
Yeah. So why don't we get seated in a comfortable position, or if you're laying on the ground, this is actually a really good practice to do laying on the ground. So why don't we get seated, feet flat on the floor, hands open, and let's begin by closing our eyes. Let's begin by taking a few deep breaths. As you begin to breathe here in this moment, we'll begin by starting to take our attention down to our feet that are flat on the floor. At any point, though, you become distracted during this practice or notice any discomfort, just let go of any tension that I've asked you to take and just focus back on your breath. Beginning in our feet, let's begin by clenching our feet, curling your toes for 5 seconds. And on the exhale breath, letting that go. Maybe you notice some little cracks or creaks today from waking up this morning. Let's do that again. Let's, on the inhale breath, clench our feet and our toes, curling them under, and letting that go. As your feet start to soften, bring your awareness up to your calves. On this next inhale breath, point your toes up high to the sky and clench your calves. And let that tension go. Let's do that again. Point our toes high to the sky and clench our calves. And let that tension go. Noticing your muscles relax and soften. Always coming back to the breath at any point during this practice. Now bring your attention to the upper part of your legs, to your thighs. And why don't we begin by tightening our thighs and creating tension. Notice the muscles contract. And on the out breath, letting that go. On your next inhale, tightening your thigh muscles again. And on the out breath, letting all that tension go. Bringing your awareness to your buttocks, sitting in your chair or laying on the ground. On our next in-breath, we're going to squeeze and create tension. Noticing how strong this muscle is. And letting it go as you sink into your chair or the ground. Let's do that again on our next inhale breath, creating tension, squeezing those muscles in our buttocks, and letting that tension go. You might start to notice the lower part of your body just soften and sinking deeper into your chair as we've let go of any tension or discomfort in the bottom part of our body. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Let's bring our awareness to our back, right against the chair or into the ground if you're lying on a mat. Let's, on our next inhale breath, squeeze and tighten our muscles in our back. And let that go. On our next inhale, let's bring tension back to our back and tighten those muscles. go. Maybe you noticed on our deep inhale and deep exhale, releasing that tension and maybe some cracks in our back from the night before. Just let all that tension go. Bringing our awareness to the front of our body, to our stomach and chest. On that next inhale breath, really notice what it feels like to fill with air. And let that go. On your next inhale breath, on that in-breath, breathe in and hold, and let's notice what that feels like in our bellies. And then let that go. Nice gentle release as the air leaves our belly, up through our lungs and out through our mouth. As we breathe in, let's bring our attention up to our shoulders. On our next inhale breath, I want you to raise your shoulders up and just hold them ever so gently to notice what that tension feels like in our muscles. A big sigh of relief, and watch as our shoulders drop down to our sides. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in and raising our shoulders up. Letting that go. Bringing our attention and awareness to our arms and our hands. On our next in-breath, I want you to clench your fists. Just notice what that tension in our muscles and our arms feels like. Breathe in. And soften and let that go. Maybe you notice a warm, tingly sensation as you let go of any of that muscle tension. One more time, let's clench our fists on the in-breath together. Breathe in. And release. Bringing our awareness up to our neck, space where we tend to hold a lot of tension and discomfort. On this first in-breath, I want you to lean your head to the left and notice what that gentle stretch feels like. And on the exhale, let that go and bring your head back up to neutral. On your next in-breath, leaning your neck and head to the right. Noticing if this side feels different, maybe the same as the left. Allowing that gentle stretch to wake you up today. And on your exhale, bringing your head back to neutral. On your next in-breath, bringing your attention to your jaw and your mouth. Noticing what it feels like as we begin to clench our jaw on the next in-breath. Breathe in. And let that go. Notice as your face starts to soften and release. On your next in-breath, I want you to open your mouth wide and smile, noticing what that tension feels like in the muscles in your cheeks. And letting that go. Let's try that one more time, bringing our smile. And letting that go as your cheek muscles and jaw just soften. Bringing our awareness to our nose. Maybe sitting here, you've noticed the tip of your nose is a little bit cool with all the deep in breaths we're doing. On our next inhale, I want you to scrunch your nose and bring tension to those muscles. And a big sigh. Relaxing your face and the muscles in your nose. One more time, let's breathe in together, scrunching your nose up. And let that go. Bringing our attention to our eyes. Maybe they're moving underneath your eyelids. On our next in-breath, I want you to squint. And relax. Noticing the release of your muscles, in your eyes and your forehead. Let's do that together one more time. Breathe in. And out. For the next few inhales and exhales, I want you to bring attention to any body part that you notice could use a few extra grip and release. Breathing into your body part. And let that go. Breathing in. And letting that go. One more breath in. And let that go. Allow this comfort and relaxation to help guide your day. And let's begin to bring light back into our eyes and into the present. So many breaths.
Thanks, Stephanie. That was awesome.
Oh,
That was the
thank you.
first time I've done the progressive muscle relaxation.
Oh, really?
I really enjoyed that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
That was really nice. Really nice way for the body to feel very relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the body scan, it's really nice because it's easy to stay with it,
Yeah.
right? Because there's something that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times in our mindfulness practice, we're almost stepping into the absence of doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to step into a place of doing. And that's why yoga is nice in that sense too, right?
Absolutely.
You get to move and breathe. I want to touch on, some of the work that we've done with individuals who struggle with chronic pain. You might be dealing with chronic pain at home. I'll go through my typical routine, I guess.
Sure.
Often what we're doing is we're just giving people the opportunity to kind of narrow your focus on where you feel that pain. You might, it might be an elbow. And you might actually, you might say to yourself, "Oh, my arm hurts, my arm is bothering me." But really, what's happening is not the entirety of your arm; it's a section of your arm. If you take time to breathe into that space and you bring your brain's awareness to that area in your body, then I find that what happens is that the pain signals that are being sent to your brain to inform you of the pain, they tend to dissipate or they tend to quiet down. And it makes sense, right? Pain signals are a warning signal. Hey, be careful of this body part. Don't extend it. Don't reach too quickly. Be careful in your movements. And once we're acutely aware of that pain, our body tends to slow or reduce the signal of that pain. At least our perception of those pain signals are reduced. I don't know if it's the pain signals actually physically being reduced, but the pain signals certainly seem to be reduced. The other thing that's happening when we're doing that is we're localizing the pain to the present moment. That's really important. That's actually probably more important than whether the pain signal is being reduced. I'll give you an example where this has huge implications. Depression is a type of pain. It's a type of pain that you might experience in your body. And here in this moment, the period of, or the experience of that, actually tuning into, not just saying, "I'm depressed, oh, it's going to ruin my day." Like actually localizing that experience to sensations that you feel in the body, thoughts that are reoccurring in the mind, can be quite helpful, because what we tend to do is we feel and experience that pain and we project that pain. If I have to experience this in my meeting today, it's going to ruin that meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
If I have to experience this for the rest of the day, my day is shot. What's the point in getting out of bed, right? What if I experience this tomorrow? What if I experience this next week? What if I experience this depression or this pain for the rest of my life? It's going to impact my family, it's going to impact my relationships, it's going to impact all these different factors. And it's almost the stress of taking that pain into the future and imagine what life will be like in that experience that's from my experience, way worse than the pain as it exists today.
Yeah, if you can kind of slow down and just focus on the next minute, the next couple minutes, the next 10 minutes, then you're able to be like, okay, well, this minute maybe isn't that bad.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about what could the next hour look like. It's okay, let's just calm and let's breathe and let's just tune into that discomfort and pain in your elbow, like you were saying. What does it feel like right now? Let's just, think about that and breathe into it. And then they're like, oh, maybe it wasn't so bad. Maybe I can cope with the next hour.
Well, and you can cope with it in this moment because you are.
Yeah.
And so, like, can you take the next step? Not planning the next 10 steps, because the next 10 steps, those are arduous. That's painful to think about, everything you have to do.
Yeah.
But can you take the next step? And so, I experienced depression, and usually you kind of wake up with it. It's just part of your body, it's part of your experience. You're like, I don't want to go through this day.
Yeah.
But I ask myself, can I put my feet on the ground? Like feeling the way that I feel, localizing that pain, the sensations, the tightness in my chest, the busyness of my mind. Can I put my feet on the ground? And generally, I've been really blessed. For me, the answer has been yes, I can. Okay, great, let me do that. Can I make myself breakfast? That's the next step. Yeah, actually, I can do that too. And then what I've noticed is I can progressively go through my day. And often, the feeling, the sensation, the projection of how bad it's going to be moving forward, that's not even ever realized. It's never that experience. It's very manageable if I take it step by step. And then I give room for my pain to ebb and flow. There's moments in my day where it's a little worse, moments in my day where it's a little better. But I get to keep checking in to make sure that the next step that I'm taking with the pain that I'm feeling is manageable. Is that a similar strategy to what you're doing with your clients?
It's a great strategy, and it is something like what you're speaking to, what I do with my clients. One of the things that I love is having people track how they're feeling each day, because one day you might wake up and because you had great sleep, you were more relaxed, you might not notice as much tension and discomfort. I experience lower back pain, so I know if I have a great sleep, I'm likely to wake up and have less tension in my back. But if I wake up and notice, whoa, I'm having a rough start, that already impacts my thoughts, impacting how I feel, impacting how I'm interacting with others. So it's okay, can I take a step back? Can I maybe go to my yoga mat, for example, and just lay down and breathe for 10 breaths, even if that's all I have time for? And what I have noticed is that tension, by focusing in on the breath and focusing in on my back, it actually releases the tension. And I'm like, okay, now I can get going and can start my day, and just kind of resetting yourself.
Yeah.
So tracking is really helpful on paper or in an app, just to notice, okay, you don't have all bad days. Maybe you have a couple bad days, and on those days, what are some strategies and techniques, like breathing into the discomfort and pain, that we can implement that will help. So I love the progressive muscle relaxation for chronic pain, because it's very helpful.
Awesome.
That I've noticed with people.
Well, and you highlighted something that we've talked about several times over the last 26 days, and that's the non-judgmental observance. Right? We practice that with our thoughts in our mindfulness practice, but when we do that, when we practice non-judgmental observance, we flex a muscle that's vitally important for other areas of our lives. Where when we're dealing with chronic pain, observing it without the judgment of what it's going to do for the rest of our days, what it's going to do next week and next year. No, you're just observing. Oh, interesting, my low back's bothering me. Interesting, my elbow's bothering me. As hard as it is to say interesting, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Right? That observance without judgment gives us the freedom to be able to take action. The observance with judgment, I find for myself, is very overwhelming.
It's extremely overwhelming, and I've done this myself, and maybe you've done this too, but we'll come back to my back pain. It's like, oh my gosh, what does this mean for the rest of my life? Do I have a back problem?
Yeah.
Is it long term? And kind of to self-diagnosing.
Well, we want to put a label on it. Oh, it's the L3 disc that's out of place. Okay, now I know L3, that darn L3. And we have this relationship with this diagnosis that defines, we don't even know what tomorrow is. Like, you might not have a back tomorrow. And so we need to be careful. That non-judgmental observance is a muscle that needs to be flexed.
And that non-judgmental piece not only then allows you to just be like, oh, my back's hurting, that's interesting. Can I change that in some way? Can I breathe into it? versus my back's hurting, and how does that impact the rest of your day, all your interactions with people that you run into.
Well, think how much pity you bring into your life when you've got a diagnosis, and think how much responsibility you take for yourself when you just say, interesting. Okay, there's something to be responsible for. My L3 is bothering me. Let me be responsible for that in taking actions. Whatever it is, there's experts out there who understand your pain. There's people who deal with your experience as well, and they know a lot more about it than I do.